Hello! Thank you so much for coming to this video today. I really appreciate it. This is my Cardano weekly recap. I take all of the information that you've missed in the past week in the Cardano ecosystem and sum it up into one video. But there's been so much information coming about Cardano that I have to take the juiciest pieces and include them in the video. And today, I do have two juicy things for you, at least in my opinion. So we have a very big update from SundaeSwap. SundaeSwap is a big project that is going to be launching a swap protocol once Goggen's released, and we have a huge update from them, so make sure you stay till the end of the video to get all the information on SundaeSwap. We also have the Cardano's second bridge, right? I believe in the future, Cardano will be the blockchain of blockchains, but the space will be inoperable with many other cryptocurrencies, and we're seeing news like this starting to come out now. First, we had the ERC20 converter, and now we have another bridge, and I'm going to be talking about that in just a second. But if you want to support this channel, the best way you can do so is by simply clicking that like button. If you like this video, you share it with your friends, and you watch the whole thing, it really does help me out in the algorithm, and I cannot thank you enough for the support that you guys do give me by commenting and just touching the algorithm. It really does help. Also, staking to Bloom Pool. We have Bloom through Bloom 6, and we were actually one of the first stake pools on Cardano. We minted the 8th block ever minted by Stakepool. So we've been here from the beginning, and we'll be here till your end, and I hope you guys enjoy this video today. So the first thing I wanted to mention in this video is a project that I've been working on, and I released this little teaser on Twitter, and you can see it right here, coming soon to Cardano, a new project on Cardano with a release before Goggen, and then a feature release using Goggen smart contracts. I can't wait. This is a project I've been working on for 5 months now. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It'll be the first link down below in the description. If you guys could, if you're excited for this, leave a like and retweet this. I would really appreciate it. But let's go into the first part of the video, and this is actually Cardano's bridge to a new cryptocurrency, a new protocol, a new blockchain. And this is actually with Nervos. And Nervos, I don't know too much about it, but I'm going to be looking more into it. But I wanted to get you guys the news that they are building the bridge, and then in a future video, I'm going to look more into Nervos and see what they're offering. But from what I know now, they're very similar to Cardano. They're a blockchain that plans to be the blockchain of blockchains that allows interoperability, and I think this step with Cardano is a good step for them because they're showing that they can actually be interoperable with another chain, and it's obviously great for Cardano just to be interoperable with another protocol. The protocol, and who knows, Nervos could be awesome, but the protocol doesn't have to be the best to be interoperable with Cardano. I hope that we move towards a place where Cardano can have many tokens on top of it, and these protocols can learn from each other, and I'm just very excited about this. So they're just an open source blockchain ecosystem, and it's just a collection of protocols creating the foundation for a universal internet-like public network. So it's they're using a lot of the same buzzwords and operate dApps from any wallet or solution. But I think the difference, and we're going to be figuring more about this as I look into it, but the difference is they're trying to allow you to, when you deploy a dApp, when you deploy it through Nervos, you can deploy it on multiple blockchains at the same time. So very interesting. With Cardano, obviously with Solidity, if you're building something in Solidity, you can deploy it both on Ethereum and on Cardano, with the KEVM that's being worked on right now. There's a testnet for the KEVM going on right now. So, that shows that Cardano already has this a little bit, but not at scale like Nervos is trying for here. Right? Because doing that at scale will be very hard because the protocols have to work with each other, and, all a protocol is a set of rules. So when you're releasing these dApps and solutions, they have to follow the set of rules. Right, so Ethereum has a bunch of different rules than we do, and so does Nervos. So it's very complicated what they're trying to achieve. Let me read you the article real quick from CoinDesk. It's very short. Public chain projects Nervos and Cardano said they plan to enable interoperability across their platform within the next 6 weeks. That's pretty crazy. That's a short time span. The bridge furthers their goals of discovering the industry's Bluetooth moment. Nervos and IOHK, according to the development team behind Cardano, which is obviously IOHK. The launch is significant because it links two ecosystems worth billions of dollars in terms of market capitalization. The company said in a press release on Wednesday it is the first bridge for Cardano. Not really. ERC20 converter, currently valued at $56.3 billion in the market's fourth most valued crypto. Blockchain accelerator Mousebelt has been tapped to develop the tech, with funding to come from the Nervos grant. So Nervos is actually funding this, and I think this will bring a lot more value to Nervos than it will Cardano, not financial advice. The Cardano team will commit expertise and resources to connect its network, so IOHK is obviously going to be helping this with this bridge. The Force Bridge, as it's known, will allow users to interchangeably transact with Nervos or Cardano's native asset currencies. So their currency is CKB and ADA. But they're also saying Cardano's other native currencies, right? So Cardano NFTs, AGIX when it's on Cardano, or Bloom tokens, which you can get from staking to Bloom. It also enables participants to create our own wrap tokens, cryptos that are pegged to the value of another, and to do so across both chains according to the release. The bridge is expected to reduce transaction costs across both platforms. I'm interested to see how. Cryptocurrencies, while reducing the burdens for users to possess different wallets to access features from both networks. It will let both developers of both chains access services and features to expand their decentralized applications and user bases, the company said. And I agree with that. That's pretty cool if you think about it. If Nervos offers something that Cardano doesn't, and they're inoperable, and it's cheap to switch back and forth, we can just easily switch to Nervos to use a swap protocol or something they have that Cardano doesn't have yet, or Cardano's working on. You can just swap it over. It's pretty cool, especially if Nervos is a trusted network, and that's why I cannot wait for the future of cryptocurrency, because you'll just be using chains for what you want to do, and it's already like that a little bit. BTC is a store of value, XMR is the private chain, ETH is the utility chain, Cardano is the utility chain that's trying to aspire to do more things in Ethereum. So we're already there, but when we have this interoperability between chains, it's going to be way crazier, because you can just swap the same token onto the other chain for the niche purpose that you want to use it for. And I think that's damn cool. So we believe that blockchain technology will only achieve mainstream acceptance when end users are not locked to one blockchain or standard. I agree completely, and that's IOHK's CTO, Roman Pellerin. Bridges like this are absolutely necessary in order to ensure that users have a seamless experience. It isn't the first time that two projects has collaborated. In December, they launched a joint research initiative to increase the security of smart contracts by improving unspent transaction outputs and a common accounting method used by both blockchains. They also announced they would be furthering open source development while exploring the creation of a universal standard for the accounting method. So very cool news. Let me know what you think down below. If you're excited about this, please type Nervos if you're picking some up because they're joining the Cardano network or the ecosystem. Then let me know down below, and let's get into the next part of the video about SundaeSwap. So if you haven't heard of SundaeSwap before, they're a project that's looking to build a swap protocol on Cardano using Cardano's new Goguen features, so smart contracts. They're trying to give people the ability to trade tokens in a decentralized way on the Cardano network. And what that looks like, if you don't know, is you would just walk into a website. It'll probably be sundaeswap.finance or sundaeswap.app, and you'll get on there and you'll be able to connect your ledger to the site. Using your ROI, you'll be able to connect your wallet to the site, and you'll be able to swap, ADA for AGIX or any other token in a decentralized way without a centralized party like Binance, doing the swap for you. You're signing a smart contract between two parties that allows you to swap over. There's a very big use case, that I'm going to be using the Cardano blockchain for, because of the low fees. On Ethereum, you have to spend hundreds of dollars to, swap two currencies, but the utility's there on Ethereum. It's very cool, using these swap protocols, and I'm very excited for these swap protocols on Cardano. SundaeSwap is, they're trying to accomplish this. There are many others trying to accomplish this. Singularity Net's trying to do this. IOG's talked about trying to do this. There's probably 10 swap projects trying to build on Cardano that I've heard of. But SundaeSwap has gained the most momentum. They've gained, the most amount of users, in my opinion. And it's because they're doing something unique, and it's called an ISO. It's an initial stake offering where they launch a stake pool and then they mint the tokens, on Cardano, because Cardano is just a utility chain. They're using Cardano as a tool. They're minting tokens, right, which they can do for very cheap, say $5-10. They can mint, how many ever tokens they want, 1 million, 1 billion. I don't know what the max is, but maybe even 1 trillion, right? So they mint this many tokens, and what they're stating is, if you stake to our pool, we'll take the ADA at a 100% fee, and we're going to pay you our token that we just minted in return, right? And they didn't pay anything for that token, but it kind of reminds you of the ICO days, and that's why it's ISO. Well, since they didn't pay anything for that token, and they're taking real funds in the middle, they're worried about this kind of looking like, securities, so securities fraud, selling tokens, for their company, or selling something that may have value in the future. So they started to get worried about that. And they released an article last week, and the article last week stated that, hey, and this is right before Charles Hoskinson, gave them a phone call. So I thought, just conspiracy here, I thought maybe it had something to do with that. But they gave him a phone call, and then they came out and said, we're going to wait. Because we had a lot of complaints about, at least I did, and a couple other people in the community had a few complaints or criticisms, and they were healthy criticisms in my opinion, of SundaeSwap. And one was they didn't have a working product. They hadn't released white papers about how they're going to do, their actual protocol and how it works with Plutus and Goguen, and how it uses Cardano's to its advantage. They hadn't released that information yet, but at the same time, they were going to release their stake pool and collect money from the community, presumably, without actually knowing how they're going to build their protocol yet. But at the same time, Plutus, the testnet, wasn't out at the time, so there's a little bit of leeway there, and their team also was anonymous. People don't like that, but I understand why they would want it to be anonymous. Sometimes I get a little anxious about putting my face out there every day, so I can imagine why they would want to be anonymous, but when you're dealing with people's money, it's often hard to be anonymous, and that's why I put my face on Bloom, I put my face in front of everything, because I'm trying to provide transparency, trying to show that I'm a good actor, and you have to kind of show your face to do that. But after all of this happened, they said that they're going to delay the launch of the ISO until further notice, and then they're going to release a report on June 1st saying, what are they going to do? When are they going to release their stake pool? So I'm going to go ahead and read this for you guys. It's very important. Each detail in this is important. So as promised back on May 25th, today we are happy to share some important updates, plans, and news. To start, we've published our first series of white papers that will describe how SundaeSwap will work in detail. In response to community input, this first paper outlines the foundations of our platform, identifies some of the challenges that we face in building a decentralized exchange on Cardano's extended UTXO model, and enumerates our proposed solutions to these challenges. Future white papers will present each of these solutions in greater detail. You can find this white paper here with a little hyperlink. Second, we're also pleased to share 4 new additions to the SundaeSwap team. Combined, Miklos, Jason, Mark, and Chris bring a wealth of expertise in technology, launch, fintech, and more. And look, see our team page here. So we can open up this hyperlink and look, here's the team. Here's Pi, who came on my podcast. Shout out to Pi if you're watching this video. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it. But look, they released their team. So here are some of the people working for SundaeSwap. So one thing I like about SundaeSwap, and I'll say this, is that all of the criticisms that we've brought up, as a community, they have addressed. We didn't like their anonymous team. They show us their team. We were worried about them not having white papers first. Now they're releasing white papers. They've delayed the launch of the ISO. So consistently, this team has shown to take criticism in and react in the way that they feel is responsible, right? That's a good thing. That's very positive. We think the ISO, okay. The third deliverable, as promised, was the update on the timing of the ISO offering, which we are diligently working on to launch. When we went to planning the ISO, we knew that we had an innovative solution to the problem that many startups in the industry face, accessing capital, involving the average consumer. While we remain ready to launch the ISO from a technical standpoint, as we explored the regulatory space, it became clear that it wasn't going to be as easy to navigate the legal issues as we had hoped. We think the ISO platform is a fundamental game changer. The ability to democratize startup funding is a concept that we at SundaeSwap believe in. By leveraging the mechanics of staking on Cardano, the ISO offers a unique approach to fundraising that does not put any participant's capital at risk. At no point do participants lose control of their assets. They are able to opt out of staking with no need to communicate with SundaeSwap. Very true. That is what's cool about ISO. If you don't like the project anymore, you can just simply stop staking. Bringing any innovative financial product to the market in the US without a safe harbor is incredibly challenging, especially in the cryptocurrency space. Without legal clarity, it's very difficult to launch new products like the ISO, regardless of the greatly improvised protections they offer participants and the transparency they provide. So all they're saying is, we're worried to release the Stakepool because of regulatory scrutiny. Back in the ICO days, if you sold a token in the United States, there was a law back then that states you can't do this. The SEC would come after you. Let's say I made Bloom tokens and I told you guys I'm going to sell you Bloom tokens for X price. Well, I would go to jail for that. And that's why I simply always state that I am giving you Bloom tokens for free. These Bloom tokens are rewards points. They're tokens for staking to Bloom, and we will never sell them to another person, right? If I said the other and said, hey, you want some Bloom tokens? I just made some, then I would go to jail. And if you think about it, the Stakepool is simply an entity because they set the price. They minted all these tokens for $5 and said, we're going to give, for every 8 cents of ADA that we get from you staking with us, we're going to send you 1 Sundae token, right? So that's the swap there. And the issue is they're setting the price, and you're trading a real asset for the price that they set. Kind of sounds like an ICO. So at the end of the day, we will continue to do all that we can to ensure the long-term success of SundaeSwap, and we will continue to do our best to remain as transparent as possible with any decision we make in the future. I have to say, it seems so far that they've been completely transparent. They've been completely responsive to criticism. I'm starting to like SundaeSwap. I am. And I think this was a good decision because that was kind of the issue that I brought up in my, that's the ugly camera. We don't want that one. So I brought them up in, my podcast and said, kind of sounds like an ICO. They better be worried about regulatory scrutiny. And here they are. That's what they're worried about. And I like how transparent they are about it. So I'll leave it at that. I gave a little bit of opinion, but I'll leave it to you guys to think about. What do you think of SundaeSwap down below? What do you think of this decision to delay the ISO? And looks like it's not coming until Q3, but we will see. We will see. So what do you guys think? If you made it till the end of the video, please, please, please comment Sony down below if you made it till the end. That's just what my camera is. First thing I can think of. To show that you made it till the end of the video, I do really appreciate it when you do that. If you did enjoy it, please click the like button. Consider checking out some of my podcasts. I have podcasts with Charles Hoskinson, Ben Gortzel, SundaeSwap, Pi from SundaeSwap. So, hell yeah, going to a conference tonight, Cardano meetup. I'm excited. But I hope you guys all have a good rest of your week. More videos coming this week. Love you guys. Be safe.